Friends, welcome to the next lecture. We were in the last lecture, we were at this point, that source of literatures, and we have seen that these all are the source of literatures, and we have also discussed that from internet, which source you have to use. It should be authentic source. The next point is the functions of literature. So why you have to do the literature search, and what is actually the function of literature? So there are four main functions which literature review or literature survey does. One is conceptual frame, that whatever problem you are supposed to do, it gives or it forms the concept, or it helps in forming the concept of that particular problem. And it will also tell you that if you go with this particular problem, this is the particular problem, this particular solution is not yet there available. If you go with this will be your expected research, or this will be your expected result. That can be given by the literature review only. Then it will also help in understanding the status of research. As I have told you already, that when you do the literature surveying right from first paper to up to date, then it gives all the status of the research problem on which you are thinking to do the research, and accordingly you can decide on which aspect of this particular topic you can do the research. It gives all the clues, which type of methods, which type of instrumentation, which type of data you will get collected, and how that data you will analyze. You have to analyze that all information just by doing literature survey you will get. So it is as good as you are reading research of other people, but at the same time you are also constructing your own research problem with that. That is, you're just ready with all the things. That is, this will be your problem, this is right now the status of research in this particular area, right? Accordingly I have selected this problem, right? And now which methods I have to use, I have all the literature that these methods I can use. For doing these methods, what instrumentation is needed, is it feasible for me, that all I can just cross check, and what kind of data I'm going to get, how or which type of statistics I can apply, that I know beforehand, because others have already did similar type of research, and you have to you are also going to the what is expected, that you will also get the similar result. So accordingly you are going to know, or you know it already after doing the research, that this kind of data will be there and this type of analysis you have to do. So this is beforehand, you know all the clues you have before you do the research, right? So which is also called as outline of the research. So this one of the function of literature survey or literature review is, it will help you in preparing the whole outline of your research. Then it also tell you that probability of your success of your solution of the research problem. So whatever you are going to do the research, how much it will be successful, and what significant level of that particular research solution will be there, you will be able to know it beforehand, before you do the research. And that's why this literature review is actually very, very important. Then how to conduct the literature review? Now, this literature review can be conducted with the four stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. So we will see one by one what you have to do in stage 1, what in stage 2, what in stage 3, and in stage 4. So in stage 1, this will just act as a source. So as I said, in stage 1, you have to just collect all the information. Now, suppose I want to do research on mm, a particular organism, like Acinetobacter is one of the organism. and it is trying, or it is not known whether this particular organism is able to produce antibiotic or not. There are many microorganisms are present in the nature, and naturally they have the ability to produce antibiotic. Everyone knows antibiotic, right? So, and those are and these antibiotics many a times are derived from many microbes. One of the best examples of this is streptomyces. But I'm having a streptomyces is the organism, is the actinomycetes, which is present everywhere, and it is actually highly reported for the production of antibiotic. Now, I don't want to do research on streptomyces, but I want to do research on Acinetobacter, another bacteria. So what source I will have? I will have the source, all the information. I will try to find out about the Acinetobacter. My question is, what I'm trying to answer, that whether Acinetobacter is able to produce antibiotic or not. And the second, if it is producing, against how many organisms can I use these antibiotics against these a list of bacteria? Can I use it? Right? So by doing literature search, I will try to find out. Now, if I want to work on antibiotic, I will not go to find the papers on siderophore production, or I will not try to find out some psychology papers, right? It's focused one. So I will just go and try to find out that how many bacteria are till date reported to produce Acinetobacter, right? To be more specific, I will try to find out all gram-negative bacteria. Now, these bacteria are divided into two forms, gram-negative and gram-positive. So, Acinetobacter comes under gram-negative. So, I will just focus on all gram-negative bacteria which could able to produce antibiotic, right? So, and thus the source is structured. So, I'm trying to focus more and more on the information which is related to first Acinetobacter. But if I couldn't get, then I will try to find out how many all other gram-negative bacteria are there. They are producing the antibiotic. So that will be the answer of my question. So first place, I will try to find out that all relevant papers which are related to the antibiotic production. In second case, I found that there are many number of papers I got that E. coli is able to produce. These are the names of different bacteria. E. coli is able to produce antibiotic. Then Pseudomonas is able to produce. Then Klebsiella is producing. Mycobacterium is producing. Many actinomycetes are there. They all are producing antibiotics. So I got this information in the first stage, right? Now, in that, I have to again go for the finding which particular bacteria. As I said, I will just take gram-negative bacteria. In that, first I will try to find out whether there is any report from the Acinetobacter species which is producing antibiotic. If it is there, I will go first for those papers, right? If not, then I will go to the related organism, that is Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which is 99% related to Acinetobacter. So I will try to find out all the papers, all the information. And in that, I will try to find out how they did the work. So I will focus more on the methods, that which methods they used to find out that this particular bacteria is using antibiotic. How they try to purify that particular antibiotic. So that will be my second step. So here I will be more, here my attitude will be more analytical, right? So now my problem is fixed, right? I have done according to that, the literature survey too, right? Now, what I need, I want to do more focused and analytical study. So that I will do just by doing a specific or focusing on specific information. So if I'm just interested to find out the methods, that which methods are used. So for those papers, whatever literature review or literature survey I will do, literature research papers I have, I will just go directly to the material and methods, that how they did the methods, and I will collect all that data, right? This will be the second stage. In the third stage, I will try to answer the conclusion, that what type of research they did. Okay, they did it from Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, Pseudomonas aeruginosa is producing antibiotic. Okay, they did that. They find that this organisms are getting killed by the antibiotic which is produced by Pseudomonas. So I'm expecting that my bacteria will also do the same thing, right? So I'm expecting that my bacteria will also be able to do the same thing. Now, I'm focused that and I'm getting some result that this particular Pseudomonas aeruginosa is producing this type of antibiotic. So I will try to find out that whether Acinetobacter is also able to produce the similar type of antibiotic. So I can come to the conclusion that yes, if the habitat of the organism is same, because Pseudomonas is also isolated from soil, Acinetobacter is also isolated from soil, more specifically from rhizosphere of soil, then in that case, both might show the similar result. So I will try to arrive to some conclusion. Yes, they got this kind of result by doing these methods. So if I do the same methods or these same methods for my bacteria, I will also get the similar result. So that conclusion I could arrive in the step 3. And in step 4, I must record or note the data, right? So this is the information available, right? This is the supporting data of my research, that if they did it with Pseudomonas, they are getting this result. So on that basis, I should keep the record that this results they are getting. So I might get the similar results. And if I keep all the data, so in the first step, I just searched for everything, right? I just try to find out all the background of the problem. In second stage, I was more focused on specific methods or whatever they have used, right? In third, I come to the conclusion that what result I may get if I do the similar methods or similar research for my bacteria. And in step 4, I need to record it. So I need to write a review, right? So everything I have to just compile and keep it as a record. So that will be the fourth step. Now, to doing this, when you are doing in these 4 steps, this is actually called as literature review. So you're writing the literature review. Now, there are some hints if when you are going to write a literature review. Those are commonly or mainly the library phase project. Means here you are not going to do any experimental work. What you are going to do, you are just going to collect all the information from the literature, the books, whatever is available, all the information you are going to collect right from first till date, right from the first publication till date, and then you are trying to organize it accordingly, so that you yourself will also be able to know that how the research is developed in that particular area and which methods they have used, how they are getting the results. Then can I modify a particular method and can I get the modified result, or can I get better result? Now suppose uh, a particular product like biosurfactant is there, or bioemulsifier. Emulsifier is such a substance which can mix two immiscible phases like oil and water. If oil and water is not getting mixed, you need to add the emulsifier. Now this emulsifier has ability to mix oil and water, and in many ointment, in many formulations of medicine, and even in food, you can see, you can, if you read the ingredients, there is always written emulsifier is there. So if a particular I want to study regarding this emulsifier, I must know everything about these emulsifiers, and then I can just collect all the information and write it in a particular way, right? Organize it in a particular way, and then I will go to study about the emulsifier. So that phase, here I'm not going to do any experimental work, whether it is really mixing two phases or not. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to collect the information from the literature. So if you do good bibliographic research, it will give you accuracy, and definitely you have to do it constantly. You just started the research previously. In the first step, you did all the research and you wrote the literature review, yes, and it's done. No, this is not the case. Until and unless the date you submit your thesis and the till date you give your viva, you have to continuously refer the literature which is getting published, because every day a new paper is getting published and it may uh, give the same solution which you are thinking about or you are doing research on. So it is very important that you have to keep yourself updated every day job it is there, right? So you have to do it constantly throughout your research period. And if you do that, definitely the essential information you will get, more accurate your research problem will be, because for suppose, for example, I'm working on, as I said, emulsifier I'm working on emulsifier which is produced from a particular plant, right? And I'm working on it, and I haven't updated, and somebody has published it. Now the question in front of me is what to do. This should not happen. But if I have referred it before, I got it, oh, this work is done right now. How can I modify my research to give a new solution to the same problem so that I can modify at any stage? If your literature work or review of literature is correct and continuously you are reviewing the literature, then you won't face this problem. Then whenever you are doing or writing a literature review, at that time it is always better if you directly take the quotations and note the page number or book journal. You have to always remember that whenever you are writing a reference, it has to be written a very particular and specific way. For every journal, the style will be different, but the way is always same. That name of the scientist, then year might, the place of year might change, but the name of the scientist is always maximum. At least 90% journals, always there is first name of the scientist, then year, then title of the paper, then volume in which it get published. Then if that volume has some number, suppose volume 60 number 2, then that number and then page numbers. So if you are writing or quotation, or you quote these particular references in this way, it will be very easy for you to find it out again and again. So you don't need, means just I wrote the name of the scientist here and I just forgot to cite it at the end, then you yourself will get confused from where I have taken it, because the same scientist might have published near about 50 papers, for example. Then which paper exactly you are referring here, you will just get confused. So that is always better. You write year, name of the scientist, and all these details whenever you are quoting any reference. Now, what precautions you have to take in the library when you're searching for the literature, right? So first, avoid intellectual dishonesty, in the sense, you know that this particular paper is there, right? But you just don't want to accept it that paper is there, because it is your interest that you want to do research on the same topic. But by doing this, you will go nowhere. You, or many times you publish the paper and then you get the remark that this work is already done, then it comes under the dishonesty and your paper won't get published आणि तुम्ही बदनाम व्हाल ते वेगळंच. So always don't. So it's the best way to avoid intellectual dishonesty. Accept it that yes, you were also doing the research on the same topic, but it got published. Then modify your topic. That will be the best way. Then do not blindly copy paste. Now, generally, whenever writing a review, what is the procedure? That read the review or read the research paper thoroughly and draw your own conclusion and write it in your own words. It's not that they said conclusion, उठाया उनका summary, कर दिया copy paste and हो गया review. No, that this kind of review will not help you also, and it will not even get published anywhere. So that temptations of blindly following his or her procedure, that will also be nowhere going to help you. Now there might be in especially in science that some experiments which you have to follow as it is, like to estimate the protein, Colin-Lowry method we use. But then if you are doing that, you have to quote those scientists reference. You cannot just take the procedure, just don't even write their name, don't quote them. Then there will be a legal case. The journal will file a legal case. The scientist, that another scientist will file a legal case on you because you haven't quote his reference. If you are quoting his reference, it means that you have followed his procedure and you have not modified it, or you have not discovered this procedure. So if you are giving its own respect, then there is no issue. But most of the time, in case of other kind of literature, living procedure, you cannot just blindly copy paste it. And if you're writing a review, there are many types of literature review. Critical review is also there. When you are critical review, when you are writing a critical review, means whatever work is available, done by the scientist, you have to criticize it, that you did it this way, but this can be a good way. But for that, you should be of that much, you must have that much level of experience in the research, and then the critically you can criticize, right? But even writing review, it means it is just not like that all the discoveries you are just organizing one by one. 1980 में ये हुआ था, 1990 में ये हुआ, 1991 में ये 90, no, it's not the way that this scientist said this scientist said this scientist said no. In writing review, you have to study their research paper thoroughly and draw, and then you have to construct your own conclusion from that, and that conclusion, that result, you have to write in an organized way. That is what is the correct way of preparing a review. Then when you are doing, as I said, it should be a chronological order, like right from first to till date, and it will definitely tell you that how the research area or the field is growth. Then you should able to, when you enter into the library, if that library you know very well, you must know, you must able to know where the reference books are there, where the exactly journals are there. You must able to locate those references properly. Or in any library, if you go, there is a systematic procedure. When you go to the library, there are computers given, and whatever journal or book you want to search, just give name and search there. You will know in which rack, at what number that particular book or journal is there, is placed, and you can just take it. So you should not waste your energy just roaming around and finding where is my book, where? No. In a library, there is a proper procedure is there. Just search accordingly and just avoid wasting of your energy and time. Now, in the library, when you are going to search for your literature, at that time there are two categories, or this process of the library reading is categorized into two ways. That is primary reading. Now for bird's eye view, it means whole thing, just go to the visit to the library, and in the first place just try to find out which books are placed where, and the most importantly, where your research area related books or journals are there. Just look at them. That is bird's eye view. Just reading, take them, read it in general view. And in next, critical thinking. Now you know that these many references are there. Now read each and every reference very critically. Seriously, take down all the notes, do all evaluations very appropriately, and collect that whole data, and that will definitely going to help you a lot, because that will help you in writing proper literature review. And once your literature review is ready, it means your backbone of your research problem is ready, and now you can start with your work. So until and unless your literature review is not ready, you actually should not start your work. This is the correct procedure of scientific working or writing. Now, how to report the review of literature. Now, you have collected all the data and you need to report it. Report it means you need to organize it in a proper way. So most of the times, now even for your dissertation, the first or second chapter of your dissertation will always be review of literature. Because any even you take any even very small problem, for that also you need to do a very deep literature survey. So that literature survey you need to write down in a particular manner, and that is what is literature review, and that must get included even in your project thesis or even for your PhD thesis. So that will be your either first or second chapter of your dissertation. And to write this literature review in a proper way, following things you have to take into the consideration. Now, to do this, what researcher has to do, it has to go through collected research studies of the field. Go through means it has to read those research paper thoroughly, not once, twice, thrice, two, three times. If you don't understand, read it again and again till you understand it in a clear way, right? Then the researcher should try to relate the collected research studies. So, as I said, focused study, focused research papers you have to study in more detail, and just relate it with how I'm going to do it with my bacteria, or how I'm going to do it with my research, right? So that you have to correlate, fine. And third is that how you can deviate your own research problem from all these studies. So obviously, whenever you are claiming that you are going to do something novel, so what is published is just a support. You have to find out some different way for the research of different solution which is not available. So that you have to first try to uh, just reframe that how I'm going to do it in a better way, or what will be my different solution for the same problem, you can say. So that you are going to decide, that you are going to report in your literature review. And then the research study, as I said, it should be, you have to do it in a specific way, and at the same time, it should be up to date. So specific research area, you have to collect specific papers. It should be up to date. And as I said, that this literature review should be and is actually the essential part of writing dissertation. So that can be the dissertation of your MSc project, MSc, MA or MCOM project, or it can be for a PhD. Now, these are the following steps which are there when you are writing the literature review. First, you have to select a topic, then search the literature, search for that particular selected topic literature, then develop an argument, you can say the develop hypothesis, then survey the literature again, find out whether whatever problem you are trying to study, is that available, is any solution for that particular problem is available, then critically search for the problem and for the solution as well. And if it is not available, then you can go ahead with the problem. And when you do critical literature survey, after that, write the review of literature. Then this video we will be able to watch. I'm not able to play it right now, but in the next lecture, we will see the video as well. So